Good morning YouTubes, and welcome to, I'll just pop my visor up, see if that makes a difference. Welcome to another spin out on the trusty stroke rusty CB250RS Honda. Now, I'm going to make this video, it's the same route that I normally ride, just to do my tests, because after my trials with the cheapy camera, the CamPark 4K, I thought I will compare it to a similar age, as in old, because I think that's old tech, GoPro. So I found on YouTube a GoPro Hero 3, which is quite an old camera, 2014 maybe, something like that, so getting on for nearly 10 years old, and I managed to find one for a good price. I bought a microphone for it. It came with a remote controller, look at that, 55 seconds into the video, which is nice. So I stuck at the side of my helmet, as you can probably see, and I'm going to give it a spin and see what the mic is like and see what the picture quality is like with a well, what's a proper camera, I guess, rather than a cheap clone. So give it a go. You can see the weather's a bit shite today, but that's the beauty of the RS, is it doesn't really matter. Right, let's go for visor down. There's some pumpkin pickers, or pumpkin picking field up here, and I don't know if it's been used since the rain. We had a lot of rain the last couple of days. I'm not sure if they've been open, but if they have, the road often gets really muddy here. So, no, it all looks good. Yeah, it used to be in that field, I think it still is. It's good for the kids, but it does make the lane really busy. I'm giving Kalimoto, as you can see, another, oh, come on Olin's suspension, hashtag not Olin's. I'm giving the Kalimoto another go before I delete it, because it is a good app, and I have used it previously with some success, but more recently it's not been great, to be honest with you. I don't really know why. It's certainly nothing on my phone. It's a fairly new phone. It's a Samsung S23 Ultra, so it's not like it's old tech. You know, it is a new phone, so you'd have thought that it should work nice and fast on it, but for some reason it doesn't. And I know there's quite a few people that use it. Oh, I smell that diesel. Jesus, that's not good. Probably one of the tractors off the fields. Yeah, I know quite a lot of people use it with a lot of success, and use it abroad as well if you pay for the premium, which I'm not going to do, especially at the moment, because I'm not really getting on with it. I wonder why he's sat there. Lots of people in fields. But no, I'm going to give it a go. That post office van was there the last time I passed through. It's the same sort of time. Probably this little tea break stop. It's not a bad view, I suppose. But I'm going to give it a go and see what it's like, and see if obviously the mapping does improve. Let's just change one of the settings. What do we got? Altitude. What's that? Attitude. Oh, battery. Miles. I've got miles already. Speed. Let's go for speed, because then you can see why I get annoyed with it, because it says 11 miles an hour. Obviously I'm not doing 11 miles an hour. Even a 43-year-old Honda Speedo agrees with me. And that is one of the things that frustrates me with Cali, to be honest with you. It's picking up now. It's saying 26, which is probably about right. But that is one of the things that frustrates me about Kalimoto, is it's not always 100%. There's a little ride out on the marsh I did. Might have even been a couple of years ago, to be fair, and I missed a turning, and it rerouted me within seconds, which was all well and good. So I didn't have the map particularly zoomed out, so I followed the reroute, and it took me on a sort of a 10-minute route down these little country lanes with grass growing in the middle of them, and I found myself literally 10-15 minutes later back at the junction that I'd missed, and it took me on a big loop down these little tiny lanes just to get back at the junction. Now most apps would say do a U-turn, or they would find shit on the road, do a make a U-turn, or at the next junction it would get you to make a U-turn, but for some reason it didn't, and that's when I started not losing faith in it, because the app navigation works, but thinking I don't know why it did that. It might have been on settings. Did I have it on super twisty route or something like that? I can't remember, to be honest. If anyone knows, if anyone's even watching this, then stick it in the comments below, as YouTube people like to say. But Swanton Lane, where does that go? Do you know what? I'm going to spin round and I'm going to take that. I've got no idea. I've never been down there before, but I've got a car behind me, so there's a little driveway here. Let's pop it up on here. Look at that, the old RS, just spin it round whenever you want. Power! See, and Callie has instantly, spun round with me. 30 miles an hour, that's about right. Ham Street. Obviously I know where Ham Street is, it's not far from me. Gravel. Ah, grass in the centre of the road. Look at that, lovely. Whenever I see grass in the road, it reminds me of an old friend of mine who's sadly departed this world now. Michael. He was a lovely fella. He had his quirky ways, but he had a heart of gold. And he used to plan the most unbelievable routes, not only in the UK but around Europe. And this guy was so fastidious that he would plan a ride out, especially in the winter, so you'd always be riding with the sun behind you, so you didn't have it in your eyes. He was that good. Bless him. He was an absolutely lovely fella, sadly missed. But yeah, a lot of his routes, we did one in France and it literally was like this the whole time. There was grass in the middle of it, we were down farm tracks, it was muddy. I think I was on my Cafe Racer, which wasn't the most ideal bike for it, but yeah, it was a great day, and he is very sadly missed by everybody that knew him. But yeah, that's motorcycles for you, unfortunately. We all ride bikes and we all know the risks, and I'm sure anyone that's been riding for a decent amount of time knows someone that has either sadly passed or been seriously injured by normally another driver, to be honest with you, but yeah, on their motorcycle. Ham Street. Let's try this way. Oh, I think I know where we are now. But we still ride motorcycles because we love them. I've ridden motorcycles since I was 10 years old. Little off-road bikes when I was a kid, and I wouldn't change it. Yeah, obviously I've crashed over the years, and I did have quite a bad crash nearly 3 years ago now, where I was knocked off. I T-boned a car. The guy was sat at a junction forever, and he even said that he'd seen me, but he was a young inexperienced driver, and he didn't, it was dark, he'd been driving for a few months, and he couldn't estimate my speed, and obviously it was quite a long road with a lot of visibility, and he just thought I was going slower than I was. I got about 50 metres from him, and he just pulled out in front of me. I didn't know where to go. The advantage is, because I've done a bit of training, motorcycle training and what have you, I was correctly positioned in the road, and I'd even changed down a gear. I didn't know till the bike was recovered, but I had changed down a gear, which is obviously part of the training, so everything kicked in and did as it did. But I couldn't get around the front of him, so I hit the front of the car, just close to where the front wheels are, and it pitched me over the road and a long way down the road. I landed flat on my back, which was the main issue. I ended up with a bit of a back injury that still niggles me now, to be honest with you, and it's still not settled, the case that is, and my back that is, but from what I've been told, my back's as good as it's going to get. So you know, you just you put up with it and you move on. If you spent every day thinking about all the aches and pains, you just well, you worry yourself into an early grave, I think. So I just get on with it. So to be honest, I do my stretching and my exercises, and yeah, and just go with it. Life's too short, and it's a lot shorter for other people, sadly. So I still ride motorcycles, I still love motorcycles, and I can't think of anything that will stop me riding bikes. Riding bikes are my little bit of therapy, my way of getting away from everything, because you're just on the bike talking to yourself, which I quite often do. If I've got music on, I sing really badly, obviously, and might be a bit of rain off there, and sometimes you're sat in traffic and you could see people looking at you as you're shouting away inside your crash helmet to I've listened to a lot of Muse recently. I saw them in concert at the O2 with the missus a few weeks back, and she put a playlist together of the gig, and I listen to it all the time. Yeah, Nights of Sidonia, when they drop the beat, everyone knows. If you know the song, you know